Detroit Pistons have hired a new assistant coach. The important thing is how this one was reported. A staff member to Monty Williams.
Rip.
Chris, do you have a picture for this one?
We don't have a picture for this one, but the thing about this hire to me,
Chris figured it out,
is that it doesn't necessarily indicate that Monty is or isn't the coach.
How do you?
Because right now it's assumed that Monty is the coach until it's announced it's not. However, they announced that they are evaluating Monty, so they would have announced if Monty is keeping his job. I've reached out to a few of my Pistons sources, and they've said you would hear something about Monty specifically.
Well, he's in this report. He's hired as assistant to Monty Williams.
Yeah, but
Fred Vincent is joining Monty Williams' Detroit Pistons staff as an assistant coach.
Right, but it's Monty's until it's not. So James Edwards even tweeted this out too. He said, look, this doesn't mean anything. Whether in regards to Monty keeping his job or losing his job, it doesn't mean anything. It's an addition to the coach.
You want to bet?
The coach's staff.
You want me to bet?
I'm not betting anything.
He's keeping the job. They wouldn't announce it as he's joining Monty's staff.
That's what I originally thought. But James Edwards and everybody are tweeting, "Hey, this isn't correlated."
I love and respect James. He's the best in the game when it comes to reporting Detroit Pistons news. Monty's staying.
Monty's staying.
They wouldn't hire somebody to Monty's staff. Allow it to be announced.
Well.
As to Monty's, like that wouldn't. By the way, this guy coached. By the way, it's Fred Vincent, if not
With Monty.
mistaken.
Yeah,
he's coached with Monty
already. When Monty was a coach for the New Orleans Pelicans, when he was their head coach. So
Monty's
gonna stay. This might not be the only thing that proves that, but they haven't come out and said anything about it yet. And then they do this where they add him to his staff. Monty's gonna stay.
I sent a picture real quick. You grab that.
This guy's gonna have to earn his paycheck though with Oscar Thompson out there. That's for sure.
Well, that's what I'm saying, man. Oscar Thompson, 3-point champ, loading. This guy's the guy. I did some digging on him. He's the guy that, and this got put out very publicly. So I'm sure you guys saw this at that point too. But he was the guy who fixed Lonzo Ball's jump shot. Like, this guy has been highly regarded as one of the best shooting coaches, a guru in the NBA. So I know, Easy, you have your beeline, your beeline shooting coach
in the league.
This is gonna be the ultimate test of that, Easy. I mean, he seems highly regarded. This seems like a great hire. Again, James Edwards emphasized that this is a hire that they wanted to make no matter who was the coach. So I'm with you guys. I would lean that Monty stays, but again, I'm trusting what James Edwards said in that it's not a direct correlation to Monty Williams himself. It's just that he's assumed to be the coach until an official announcement / decision is made.
They wouldn't hire an assistant coach without the future head coach's permission.
I mean, when you're the GM, you can do what you want. And isn't this Trajan just kind of flexing his president of basketball operations title?
No. Like you wouldn't hire an assistant coach without the other coach's approval. He's the one working with him day to day. Like you wouldn't even want that as a head coach. I have this guy that you handpicked underneath me.
Yeah,
I feel like my neck constantly being breathed.
No, this was definitely Monty talking to their whole Pelican connection.
Yeah,
obviously Trajan Langdon has a connection to him, but so does Monty Williams, and that is Monty Williams had the connection first before Trajan Langdon was in the situation to be making moves like that. So, I mean, this is nothing but a good thing we need obviously someone to help out with some shooting. Him being the guy that fixed Lonzo Ball's jump shot is extremely, extremely important because hopefully he could do the same with Oscar Thompson. And logo 3 from Cade, loading. No, I saw that on Twitter. I don't want to steal that from somebody, but obviously it's going to help Cade because we saw him getting his jump shot back, especially in the second half of last year when he was feeling more comfortable with his legs under him. He really started to shooting the ball pretty well from outside. So adding another guy in here who has a track record of being a three-point specialist and helping guys, that will only continue to improve his shot.
For Bradley, here's a picture too, by the way. You guys like to see Fred Vincent.
What are your guys' expectations for a year 2 leap for Oscar Thompson when it comes to 3-point shooting? I
knew this was coming.
I don't have one.
No, it's an actual question, fellas. Do you guys have expectations for a set number that you want to see him get to in his second season?
Get to 30%. I want him to get better. What I expect? No, I don't expect it.
If he wants to stay in the league, and especially on the Pistons with a guy like Cade who's running the show, you need to shoot 30%. You need to shoot 35%. I mean, he might be the type of player that he might just be a 3-and-D guy. I know he handles the ball well, but he might be a guy that sits in the corner with Ivy and is going to get a lot of open looks. And he needs to hit, like I said, probably 30 or 35% of those if he wants to stay in the league.
I mean, I agree. I think that 30% is kind of fair when you're looking at his numbers here. I mean, he shot 18%, but 18 to 30%, 12% is a big jump, but it's kind of not when you shoot that bad. Just like winning, 14 to 25 games isn't as drastic of a jump as winning, 48 to 59. Like there's kind of levels to shooting, just like there is winning. So I think a 12% increase for Ausar is fair,
No.
especially because
It needs to be more than that, because he was so bad. If he was a 20% three-point shooter, then a 12% increase would be fine. But because he was a teen percent three-point shooter, it needs to be bigger than that. It needs to be closer to 20 than it is to 10. Like, it needs to be a drastic improvement from him. And I'm not talking about on 12 attempts a game or anything like that, but if you're shooting 3 threes a game, make one of them. Make one of them. They're going to be open shots. You're going to be in the corner wide open on these attempts. If you're shooting 3 of them, make one a game. That's what I expect.
So 33%.
Yes, on a very low volume.
I mean, look, I hope so. But you know what, Easy? I want to ask you this question.
Yeah.
This guy is highly regarded. I think you're on board with this hire, it sounds like. Does this give you any pause for Ivy, that he could work Ivy's shot? Or is it just not a fit and it's never going to work?
I'm not buying any stock of hope when it comes to the Detroit Pistons. I'm just not.
Yeah, me either.
Like it's you'd be a dumbass to at this point. Yeah, I might buy a sweet hat like Caleb has on right now.
That is a dope hat.
That's probably
Thank
the
you.
furthest
Crispy.
extent I'd
It's my
go.
Friday hat. It's my going out hat.
It's
Oh,
my
yeah.
Friday hat. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Love going out hat.
Yeah.
I
No.
wish I had more hats that actually fit my head so I could wear going out hats.
I
have,
just
like, two that
don't
actually
think
fit.
Ivy's that type of player. He's just not. At the end of the day.
Terrell Lamar in the Woodward Sports Chat says Ausar wasn't picked to be a three-point shooter. For sure. But in today's NBA, you need to be able to knock down an open three at least once. At least once, or you literally can't be on the court. No matter how athletic you are, no matter how good defensively you are, if you shoot in the teens, you will not see the court in the NBA. So I'm not asking him to be James Harden or Steph Curry or any, just when you're getting open looks, which you will be because nobody's going to be guarding you at the three-point line, make 1 out of 3. That's all I'm asking for.
How about keys to wisdom? Ausar is just as likely to go below 18% as above. He was that bad.
Yeah, it's definitely.
He ain't going below 18%.
With the whole offseason of work.
No, he
I
ain't
don't
going
know.
below no 18%.
That thing looked broken.
It looked pretty broken.
Jimmy Butler
Yeah,
made
it
the
was
jump
jacked up.
from like something wild like that, but
Yeah,
he
we
also
looked that
only averaged like 1 shot a game total. By the way, 1.9 field goal attempts in that rookie season.
And Ausar is double that at 1.8. I'm looking
Yeah.
at his numbers now. So,
Yep.
it's less likely that Ausar will make the transformation that Jimmy, but it's not out of the realm of possibility, especially with the new shooting coach. Like,
Speaking of
see.
Alan W says Bam ? Bam Adebayo is a 35% three-point shooter.
And he's a center.
Yeah, and he's a center, and he doesn't take 5 threes a game. But that's what I'm not asking. I'm not asking Ausar to do that. To be, especially his position where you are, you gotta be able to knock down an open three. It is an unnegotiable.